Okay, here we go. This is the last video in the series of the 6 myths that are surrounding grief and bereavement. I am Kitty Howard, kittyhoward.com. I'm a grief worker and bereavement specialist, and I'm here providing you videos to help you in your journey and or in supporting somebody else in their journey through tragedy, grief, and loss. So the sixth and final of the myths surrounding grief in this series is the myth of you must keep busy, or you must stay busy to keep yourself occupied. If you're busy enough, you won't think about all those horrible feelings you have inside. You won't be as sad, you won't be as angry, you won't be as lonely. You must just keep busy and keep at them and keep on trucking. And that is a sure recipe for disaster, because all that absolutely means is that you're putting off dealing with the really profound feelings that have come with your loss. Okay. Keeping busy, sometimes we need to. We're humans, we like distractions. That's why we have movies and television and Netflix and I don't know, bars and restaurants and amusement parks and maybe sporting events. I don't know what your thing is. When I go on the isolation bender when I'm dealing with stuff that I don't want to deal with, I tend to go the movie or the book route and dive into those. And by living in that little, temporary fantasy world, I get to experience all kinds of things. Right? Books are treasures. I love books. Books are great, and they keep me from addressing the situations at hand. So when you've experienced a death, a loss, a breakup in relationship, people will often suggest, ourselves included, if I just keep busy, I'll just put in the extra hours at work, I'm going to fill up my dance card, I'm going to go out with the friends, or I'm going to retreat, whether it's in the garden or in a book or in a movie, whatever it might be. Often we do tend to retreat and fill our time that way. But also I know people that just, have started volunteering ferociously, just filling up their time, trying to make sure that they don't have to think about what they are feeling. Feelings are, they totally can be painful and devastating and hard to be in the same room with. I read a lot of Rumi's poems for a while, and there was one more, I guess a poem, but almost read like a story of the guest house, and the guest house being our own body, and this element to actually invite in the difficult emotions. Like, we can't just open our doors for laughter and celebration and happiness and newness. We must also open our doors and serve tea to sadness and anger and pain and loss, isolation, feeling desperate, feeling so alone it hurts. If we give more attention to those elements, then we become able to understand them more clearly, become more comfortable with them, something new, right? We tend to fear what we don't know. And when we don't want to know something, we avoid it. And how do we avoid it? We avoid it by keeping busy. But if we keep busy and don't address the difficult feelings, those emotions, there's situations that come with grief. You might need to deal with bills or moving or you know, any number of things. Packing up, a lot of change, you know, comes when somebody dies or when a relationship has ended. And keeping busy is a way of avoiding. But what we really need to do, what would actually serve us, what would actually help the process, is to spend some time, lean in, dive in to those feelings, those more uncomfortable, I even look uncomfortable when I'm saying it, those more uncomfortable feelings, and spend time with them, get to know them, have a cup of tea with them. And once they're more familiar, they're less scary. They just exist. It's that balance, right? We must experience sadness to appreciate happiness, and we can do it the other way around too. We can experience happiness to appreciate our sadness, because we're sad because we loved somebody, and no matter how it happened, that relationship has changed. It has physically ended, and we get to hurt. That is normal, and it is natural, and it is reasonable to spend some time feeling the pain. Is it a pity party? No, it's grief. Is it diagnosed depression? No, it's grief. You're allowed to grieve what and whom you have lost. You've lost the relationship, the what, the experiences, the future that could have been. All of that has been taken away. So don't be too busy. Certainly endeavor to find things that make you happy. Certainly reach out to friends. You are always welcome to reach out to me. I am here and available. I welcome you to contact me online, on Facebook, or through the website, kittyhoward.com. We can avoid things. We can keep busy. Some people medicate, you know, use drugs and alcohol. That keeps them busy for a while. And, you know, overworking is another way to avoid. It's not drinking or doing drugs, but the effect is the same. It's another element that prevents you from dealing and processing, right? And, or gardening. It doesn't have to be work or drugs. It can be gardening, it can be movies, it can be books. Books is kind of my thing. And it's not to say you can't enjoy a few drinks or a good book, but acknowledging that if you're spending a lot of time there because you're avoiding the bad feelings that you're living with, it might not be serving you as well as sitting down with your bad feelings could. So this is Kitty Howard from kittyhoward.com. That's the end of the 6th video around the myths of grief. I hope they have served you. If you have any questions or comments down below, please feel free to share them. If you have any questions about certain elements of grief or loss or bereavement and you'd like me to address them, you can also send that in an email or message on Messenger through my business page, Kitty Howard Lifestyle. I think you can just search me on Facebook. Sorry, a little message just dropped down on the screen there. And that's it. So there will be more videos to help serve you. Just probably this is it, the 6 videos on grief, or on the myths of grief. We'll wrap up the myths, and there will be more on different topics later. I'm setting out to help 1,000 people grieve better this year, and I hope that this helps you. Sending love, courage, and radiance. We'll see you in the next series of videos.